Welcome, everyone. My name is Laura. This is Qigong. If you've never done Qigong before, this is going to be a little bit different than some of the classes. Often what I've been teaching in these live classes is more of a, we do a bunch of exercises. There's a little bit more to the classes that I teach in person, usually the paid classes that I teach. But for right now, so today we're going to do something called spontaneous Qigong. So I love this because you get to make it up yourself. And I think it'll be really good. It might be, like I said, it's a little bit different probably than most people are used to if you've done Qigong before, or you're expecting something more like yoga or calisthenics. This will be a little bit different, but you can let me know at the end what you think about. So I have to start off saying thank you to the Healer Within Foundation. That is a foundation that was created by Qigong teacher Roger Yanka. He's an Oriental medicine doctor, and he's been doing this stuff for a really, really long time. He has created this foundation, and he reached out to, so I went to one of his teacher trainings, and he reached out to all his certified teachers and said, hey, is anybody teaching classes online, and would you be interested in us advertising them? So they have a website where they list the classes, and now I'm just realizing, let's see, I'm going to put in the link. I think this is the correct link. So healerwithinfoundation.com/donate. They're asking everybody whose classes they've listed to just suggest that if people enjoy the class that they donate to the Healer Within Foundation. They're suggesting $5, but it's a free will donation. And please, please, please don't feel obligated. I don't get anything out of this. Like I said, they're just listing my class, and I've done some great training with Roger. He's also one of the founding members of the National Qigong Association, where I'm currently vice president. So we have a couple connections there, and he's a great guy. If you ever, I know he has a lot of free videos out there. If you ever get a chance to study with him, he's close to retirement, so maybe do it soon. But he's a really interesting guy. He lives in California, and he's this really interesting cross between kind of this traditional Chinese medicine doctor and a surfer. He's really laid back, but he knows so much about Chinese medicine, and so he's just a delight to be around. So anyway, that is that. The next thing I want to know is, how can I help you? I know that people are struggling during this the COVID-19 crisis, and a lot of people's lives have been kind of uprooted. Personally, my life has not changed all that much. I work from home anyway, for the most part. I do go out and teach, but I do a lot of stuff at home. And so I'm kind of used to being at home. I don't have any kids, so I'm not dealing with them, trying to manage them while you're also trying to work. So there's a lot of things that I don't have in my life that I know that people are struggling with. So if there's anything I can help you with, or if there's anything you want to see in classes, these free classes will continue at least until the end of April, and then we'll see what happens after that. Of course, it will all depend on whether we're still under stay-at-home requirements and that sort of thing. I will probably continue online classes, even after this is over, and so it's. But I want to know, if for the next few weeks, what do you need? So somebody mentioned something about anxiety. Let's see what else we have. Hi, Stacy. Thank you for being here. Hi, Roy. Stress and anxiety, yes. So Qigong is so good for that. That's kind of the main thing that I focus on, because stress is really one of the underlying causes of disease. Roy, Sam, hello. Thank you for being here. George, how's it going? We need to chat more. And yeah, so anyway, so let's get going. And like I said, put in the comments what anything that you need, that you'd like me to address in future videos. And if you like these and want to see more, even after this whole crisis is over, then let me know. Like I said, I'm considering continuing online. I actually have a couple video courses that are in the works, but considering live classes online. So moving more, yes, definitely, Stacy. So, so today we are going to, like I said, do spontaneous Qigong. This is a little bit different than some of the classes that I teach because it's going to be it's kind of a DIY Qigong. I'm not going to tell you to move a certain way, lift your arms up and bring them down. I will give you suggestions. Hi, Anna. Good to see you. I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so pleased that you keep coming back. It's great to see your name there. And so anyway, so we will, you'll be able to move in whatever way you want to. So let's start though. We always start with shaking. So this is actually some people, including Roger Yanko, who I said has the Healer Within Foundation. He considers shaking to be spontaneous Qigong. So what you're going to do is just bend your knees a little bit, let your upper body shake. If you want to, you can go up and down on your toes. If you notice, you don't need any special clothes for this. I'm wearing my slippers. I was actually just in my socks, but this is a pretty cold room and there was a draft coming in. So I decided that I needed to put something on my feet to keep them warm. So we're going to shake. You can twist from side to side if you want to. Qigong is a very gentle art. So we're sort of the opposite of no pain, no gain. So you don't want to twist more than is comfortable. You don't want to shake more than is comfortable. If you really want to, you can do like a flash dance, kind of getting the energy moving thing, or you can just be very, very gentle and bend your knees a little bit and let your arms, your upper body shake. Or you can actively shake things. Do what feels good to you. Shake up if you want to. You can shake to the sides, twisting a little bit. If there's any place that needs a little bit of attention, maybe your back is sore, you can shake down. If anything doesn't feel good, back off or don't do it. Just be very gentle. This is not a race. The goal is not for you to do things exactly the same as me. The goal is for you to do things in a way that feels good for your body. Today, right now, in this moment, which might be different from tomorrow or next week or last month. Good. Let's come back to center. And feet will be, this is the only thing I'll probably dictate here, about hip to shoulder width apart. You want to be a nice, stable stance. If you need to do it a little bit wider because that makes you feel more stable, that's fine. If you want to do this in a chair, you can. I suggest sitting toward the front of the chair. So let me just turn sideways. I don't want to be leaning back against the back of the chair. I want to be sitting up straight. You don't have to be military straight. You can drop the pelvis down and be comfortable, but you want to be sitting on the sits bones and kind of on the edge of the chair. So you can do all of this seated, and in fact, maybe I'll do some of this seated. So feet, whether you're sitting or standing, will be hip to shoulder width apart. If you're sitting, make sure you feel stable on those sits bones. You can close your eyes if you'd like to. If you're standing, arms are resting gently at your sides. If you're sitting, you can either have them at your sides or on your lap. And just take a couple nice slow breaths. I prefer to close my eyes, so it helps me to get a little bit deeper. Tune into your body. See if there's any place that is speaking to you. Maybe there's a kink. Maybe there's a little bit of pain or an ache, or something that's calling out to you. Tune into that spot and just breathe into it. See if you can focus on some of the discomfort, or maybe it's not a physical discomfort, maybe it's an emotional discomfort, maybe it's some anxiety. There might be some tightness in your chest or butterflies in your stomach. And just tune in to what you're feeling in your body. Try to go in as an observer. Don't worry about, oh, I feel anxious, or my stomach doesn't feel good, or I have a pain in my back. Just go in and acknowledge that it's there. And check in with it and see if maybe it's trying to send you a message. Continue breathing, nice slow breaths. You can breathe however you want to, in and out through the nose. If you'd like to, you can also breathe out through the mouth. So you drop your jaw a little bit, relax the jaw. Tune back into whatever part of your body it was you were focusing on before. See, has anything changed? Sometimes as soon as we focus on something, it's kind of like once we name a problem, it tends to decrease or dissipate a little bit. Our body sometimes sends us aches and pains or emotions because it wants us to focus on something, to deal with an issue. Sometimes all it wants is a little bit of acknowledgement. Yes, I'm feeling a little bit anxious about the situation. Or I overdid it in the yard, raking leaves, and my back is a little bit sore. Now let's continue. And as you breathe out, if you're able to and willing, breathe out with a little bit of a sigh. That vocalization, that engages the vagus nerve a little bit, vibrates the vagus nerve, which helps to activate the rest and digest mode of the autonomic nervous system. It engages the parasympathetic nervous system. Other things you can do to engage that are singing. I've heard that you can gargle and it will engage it. Any sort of chanting. So continue breathing out with a little bit of a vocalization. Maybe the sigh is not right for you. Maybe you'd rather, I don't know, groan. Maybe you're just frustrated. All right? Or maybe you're angry. I don't know. You know, there are a lot of emotions that are more socially acceptable than anger. So sometimes anger comes out in different ways. But if you want, you can maybe growl when you exhale. You can also move your face a little bit. I'll see if I can find a link to the video of Seth Lyon. His name is. He talks about doing actually doing angry faces, right? And so you're kind of doing this like growling, really angry face, and you can growl at the same time. So as you're breathing, maybe when you exhale, you've made this angry face, and then you growl out, right? So we're continuing to breathe, but we're getting all these emotions out. If you feel compelled to cry, please do that. If you feel like you're in a safe space, I cannot see you. But, you know, sometimes when we do this breathing and when we start tuning into the body, it can get it can get really kind of overwhelming. It dredges some stuff up. So totally fine to cry. In fact, it's good, right? We want the emotions to go out. We don't want to keep them in. We want to let them out in an appropriate way. And by appropriate, I don't necessarily mean socially acceptable, because often it's socially acceptable in the US to keep the emotions in. So we want to let them out, but we want to be able to release them. But we don't want to get angry at somebody inappropriately, you know, for no reason, like yell at the clerk at the grocery store because they don't have toilet paper. We want to try to release them in more constructive ways. So as we're breathing, we're sighing out, oh, or moaning or groaning, oh, right? Someone told a bad joke, oh, or growling or crying, any of those things. So if you've got your eyes open, I want to suggest again that you close them if you're able to. I know sometimes there are some balance issues, PTSD. Sometimes people don't like to close their eyes. That's totally, totally fine. This has been a pretty traumatic time for some people, and so I get that it's not always comfortable. But like I said, for me, it allows me to really get inside myself. And so now we're going to do a little bit of movement. So we've done some sitting, we've done some tuning in with our body. Now we're going to move. We're going to move spontaneously. So we're going to continue to stay tuned into our bodies and just let your body move. It might sway a little bit, whether you're sitting or standing, or it might not move at all, and that's also fine. Maybe you find some place that needs a stretch. Oh, I need to stretch like we do in the morning, right? You get out of bed and just kind of spontaneously stretch, and it feels so good. Or maybe you feel like you need to touch your toes. You can do any of these or none of them. These are just suggestions. At some point, so we naturally like to move. You think of kids when they're playing, they naturally move, they run, they jump, they climb on things. But that's conditioned out of us. We're told to stand still, we have to sit still. In school, in class, if we go shopping with our parents, say to the grocery store, we need to just, we're fidgeting, we want to run around, we want to move, and our parents always tell us, stand still, don't fidget, don't run away, hold on to the cart, stay next to me. But really, it's our birthright to move, to sing and dance. You look at indigenous cultures, and they have these all these ceremonies, and people are dancing and singing and chanting and playing instruments, and it's a way to really just kind of get things out of the body. So for those of you who know Flowing Breeze Swaying Willow, this is going to be a long version of Flowing Breeze Swaying Willow. Feel free to move however you want. Flowing Breeze Swaying Willow is something that I teach in my classes. I have not, as of yet, taught it online, and it takes a little bit of time to learn, so we can't do it in a 30-minute class. But this is part of it. Remember, you're stretching, you're twisting, you're reaching, you're swaying. You can yawn. In fact, yawning is one of those other ways that we get emotions out. We express emotions through the breath. Better out than in. And yawning is also a signal that our parasympathetic nervous system is engaged, is activated. So you can do any sort of movement you want. One day I just felt like I needed to reach up and climb a rope. So I was pretending like I was climbing this invisible rope, stretching my arms up and leaning from side to side. Maybe you want to dance. I generally move slowly, but maybe, maybe you want to do the twist. I don't know. Maybe you want to jump up and down and dance a little faster. I mentioned flash dance before. You can move however you want to. If you want to move fast, you can. If you want to move slow, you can. This is all about you, this practice. Even in the other classes that I teach that aren't spontaneous, I teach some movements, but you make those movements your own. So we keep moving. We'll go for another minute or so. And let the body do what it needs to do. Keep breathing, moaning or sighing or crying or yelling if you want to. Sometimes we can't do things because other people are in the house or there's neighbors nearby. You can always yell into a pillow. And stretch everything out that you need to stretch. Or like I said, I always say it's fine to stand still. Sometimes we just need the stillness. Sometimes we just need that quiet. Breathing nice and slow in and out. Good. And then gently slow the movement down if you're moving. Come back to center. You may be on the floor. You may be leaning over and touching your toes. Gently come back to a standing or sitting position of relative stillness. Continue breathing. And once you've recentered yourself, check back in to that whatever place it was that you were focusing on earlier. See if anything has changed. We checked in once just with the breathing and the focus. See now if maybe anything else has changed. Oh. Good. And then when you're ready and in your own time, at your own pace, if your eyes are closed, you can gently open them. Come back to the room. I'm going to just check in on the comments here. So it sounds like things are tough in India. I think what is the severity of the pandemic here? I'm in the US. I am a little bit west of New York City, where things are pretty serious, and a little bit north of Philadelphia. And it's I live in a pretty rural area. There's lots of nature here. And so we're able to get out in nature. We're able to go out walking. I mean, things are serious here, but it's, you know, and I wear a mask when I go to the grocery store, or I have to go out anywhere, in public. When I walk the dog, I always have a mask with me. And, but I personally think that I'm pretty lucky. I moved down from Boston, which is, it's a small city, but it's a city for sure, and it's very crowded. And I think I'd be having a much harder time there. Like I said, I have lots of nature here that I can spend time in, and I can get outside. And I was spending a lot of time at home anyway because I work from home, so things were not quite as bad. I don't know if anybody else who's on here can comment on the severity of the pandemic where they are. Maybe Stacy or George. I don't know how things are in Florida, George. They I had heard that they weren't social distancing there so much, so in the southern US, but I think maybe I'm hoping they're getting the message now. So yeah, so things are I'm doing okay. I know a lot of other people are struggling. So good question. Let's see who else is here. Brian, thank you. You are so welcome. I'm just reading on my laptop because it's easier to read comments there than on my phone. Hi, Teresa. Thank you for being here again. And Brian. So it was a little bit shorter than normal practice tonight, and like I said, a little bit different. This was a little bit of an experiment. I'd be curious to know what you think. If you want to put in the comments, was this weird? Was it good? Was it relaxing? How do you feel too? Has anything changed? Whatever part of the body that you tuned into, did you notice any difference after the practice? I'd be curious to know that. So put that in the comments, and we're going to wrap things up for now. I'll stay on for another couple minutes so that people can comment. Thank you so much for being here. You can like my Facebook page. You can also join my mailing list. There's a link from my Facebook page to my website, which is where you can join my mailing list. And I'll just mention one more time, if anybody wants to do a donation to the Healer Within Foundation, I put the link in the comments. Thank you so much for being here. It has been an absolute pleasure, and I hope to see you next week. Like I said, these classes will continue Tuesday evenings, New York time, Eastern time, at 6 p.m. for about half an hour. So I will see you guys soon. Thanks for being here. Oh, George says yes. Parks and beaches closed and they're social distancing. Good for you guys. I heard it was not like that a couple of weeks ago, so that's great. The state parks in Pennsylvania are open. The county parks near my house are not, and I live right on the border of New Jersey, and it's and so New Jersey just closed all their state parks, and so a lot of New Jersey people are coming over here. I live on a canal, a towpath along a canal, and all the New Jersey folks are coming over here, so to walk on the canal path. So let's see. Teresa says the stiffness in my back was feeling is gone, disappeared on the first check. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I hope you come back. It's great to see you guys. And it looks like that's the last of the comments. So thank you. Have a wonderful week. And like I said, let me know if you need anything. I'm feeling really good about, I'm totally okay with this situation for the most part. So if there's anything I can do to support you guys, I feel like I don't know what to do, but I feel like there's something that I should be able to. And because I'm feeling strong through this whole thing, I feel like I should offer something. I just don't know what that is. So yeah. Oh wait, here's Stacy. Great way to test my creativity for Qigong. Do movement. I felt I needed it. Yes, Stacy, let me tell you, you are so brave. Everybody who's here for the first time, super, super brave, because with me not telling you what to do, I mean, we're in this society where we, our parents tell us what to do, our teachers tell us what to do, our bosses tell us what to do. And so we often don't it doesn't occur to us sometimes that we can just move in ways that feel good for us. And Stacy, I should mention, is she's an athletic trainer and a massage therapist in Quakertown, PA. She's amazing, and she owns Complete Wellness, which is along with Tracy McGovern, two owners there. It's an amazing wellness center. I actually teach some classes there, and so I just want to give a shout out to her. I think that's that they are doing lots of good things. They're closed for now, but we're doing lots of stuff online. So I will put a link to their website as well, and you can check out all the stuff that they're offering. Let's see. Anna says Boston doing a little bit better, but still pretty bad. Yeah, I can imagine. It's crowded there. So, all right, I'm going to sign off for now. Oh, I should also say George, who commented before, he lives in Florida, but he's actually from Quakertown, which is the weirdest thing ever. I met him in Costa Rica, so we have like this strange connection. But I feel like when I moved down to Pennsylvania, I feel like this was like the right place for me because I kept having weird connections like that. So anyway, thank you all. Bye, George. Bye, Teresa. Bye, Anna. Bye, Stacy, and everybody else who joined us. Thank you again for being here, and we'll see you next week. Bye.